Alright, buckle up, cosmic voyagers, because today we're diving deep into the celestial dance of limitations and growth, the push and pull of control, and the undeniable impact of Saturn in synastry. We're talking about how the structures we build, or that are built around us, can either stifle our self-expression or become the very scaffolding that allows us to reach new heights. This is a topic that affects us all, regardless of our astrological placements, but when Saturn enters the picture, things get intensely personal. Ready to explore the intricacies of your relationships through the lens of Saturn's influence? Now here's where it gets interesting. The central theme we're exploring is the fascinating clash between structure and self-expression. We all have a deep desire to be seen and understood, to express our authentic selves. But life, and sometimes the people in our lives, can impose limitations. This is where Saturn steps in, often creating challenges in self-expression and identity. Think of it like this: imagine you're a vibrant artist, bursting with creative energy, but you're painting in a room with low ceilings. Your masterpiece, your true self, can only reach so high. This feeling of restriction and inhibition is a common experience when Saturn is prominent in a synastry chart. Consider a scenario: a budding musician feels stifled by a partner who values practicality over artistic pursuits. The musician might feel their creativity is constantly being judged or suppressed, leading to feelings of self-doubt and frustration. Does this sound familiar? The core of this dynamic centers around the tension between independence and conformity. Saturn craves order, responsibility, and long-term goals. The other person, however, might value freedom and spontaneity, which can create misunderstandings about the relationship's direction. This is where those power struggles and control issues begin to emerge. For instance, imagine two friends who are looking at starting a business together. One has a brilliant idea but struggles with the details, while the other is organized and pragmatic. This can be a perfect collaboration. But, if one person feels the other is trying to control the direction, they can grow resentful. A common complaint you will hear is, "They don't understand me," or "I feel like I'm not fully accepted." The other person may feel burdened. It's crucial to remember that Saturn in synastry isn't inherently negative, it's just complex. The key lies in understanding that this dynamic can lead to incredible personal growth and self-awareness. Saturn is a teacher, and it often presents lessons about self-discipline and responsibility. The first step: open communication. Talk about your feelings, needs, and any perceived limitations you're experiencing. Then, work together towards common goals. This requires empathy and patience. Now, let's get into some specific Saturn contacts. In Saturn-Sun synastry, it's a vital contact. The Sun person is the core of the personality, and they are going to be the main recipient of Saturn's teachings. In Saturn-Moon synastry, the Moon can be vulnerable to Saturn's pressure. Feelings can be suppressed, so communication is key. Saturn-Mercury synastry is often excellent, especially for business or mentor-student relationships, where Saturn brings structure and expertise. Saturn-Venus synastry can be beautiful, as maturity is added to grace. Here's an example. Let's say you have a friend named Alex who is experiencing Saturn transiting their natal ascendant. The ascendant is the mask you show to the world, and Saturn brings a sense of responsibility, restriction, or judgment. Alex, in this case, may feel that their personality isn't fully accepted, or that they must constantly conform to meet certain expectations. But wait, there's a catch. While this all sounds challenging, it's also an opportunity for immense growth. Saturn is all about building something lasting, something solid. Imagine you're building a house. Without the foundation, the house will crumble. Saturn helps us lay that foundation in our relationships, teaching us about boundaries and creating structure. Now, you might be asking, how do I navigate this tricky territory? Well, the answer is multifaceted. First, resolve any control issues with open communication. Push both partners to learn lessons. Create structures and increase patience. Embrace self-expression. Appreciate each other. Mature together. Take responsibility. And most importantly, embrace authenticity. Let's look at some real-world examples. Imagine a couple where one person is the ascendant, and the other is the Saturn person. The ascendant individual is experiencing restriction or judgment from the Saturn person. The ascendant individual feels inadequate or like their personality isn't fully accepted. This is a common scenario, and the key is communication and understanding. One person prioritizes structure and long-term goals, the other values freedom and spontaneity. How can we apply all of this to our daily lives? Well, start by defining clear goals. Establish routines and stick to them. Follow through on commitments consistently. Take ownership of mistakes. Express your feelings and needs honestly. Listen actively. Set and maintain healthy boundaries. Respect each other's individual space and time. Practicing active listening and empathy exercises is also crucial. Here's another scenario. Two individuals are at odds with their goals and direction. One is looking for long-term stability, and the other is unsure, perhaps lacking a concrete plan. This can lead to constant push and pull dynamics. But the goal is the same: establishing boundaries and defining roles within the relationship. Now, this can also apply to any of your relationships. What if you could gain a deeper understanding of your family dynamics, your friendships, or even your professional relationships? Now, how do you use astrology to dive deeper? First, create your synastry chart with the Synastry Chart tool. Take a look at the aspect between your personal planets and Saturn. The orb of the aspect is critical here. Other aspects, such as trines or sextiles, can offer further insights into your relationship's dynamics. Then, discuss your feelings, needs, and any perceived limitations. Now, let's briefly consider the power of squaring Saturn aspects. Think of Saturn in Gemini square Ascendant in Virgo. This can create challenges in communication and organization, with a tendency to overthink. Saturn in Taurus square Ascendant in Leo can lead to conflicts around values and self-expression. Saturn in Sagittarius square Ascendant in Pisces may manifest as clashes in beliefs and goals. Finally, Saturn in Scorpio square Ascendant in Aquarius could mean power struggles within the relationship. So, what can you do in these situations? Consider couples therapy. Work together towards common goals. Remember that patience and understanding are key. For example, I had a viewer comment on one of my videos last week. This makes total sense. My partner is Saturn, and I am always struggling. And then another viewer added, this is the exact dynamic I'm experiencing. But what about the future? Will changing relationship structures amplify these challenges? Yes, they may. Communication styles, financial arrangements, and shared responsibilities can all be affected. But remember, the key is focusing on personal, relational, and spiritual growth. Embrace the journey. What you want to know is, will you grow? Absolutely. But it requires work. To summarize, Saturn can bring restrictions, but it also creates opportunities for growth. It can teach us lessons about boundaries and responsibility. You must create structures and increase patience. Embrace expression. Take responsibility for your actions. Be willing to be mature. In this world, the best and most important thing is your authenticity. Do you feel seen? Are you able to be your authentic self in all of your relationships? Are there structures in place that make you feel restricted? So, are you ready to take a deeper dive into the world of Saturn and relationships? If you are, then you need to subscribe to this channel. I offer weekly, in-depth, and insightful content on a wide variety of astrological topics. Subscribe right now, and together we can unravel the mysteries of the cosmos and become master navigators of the astrological seas. You don't want to miss our next video. You won't regret it.